Oh, hey there. How's that sound? Does that sound good? I don't even know. Hello? Well, that's a lot louder, isn't it? Isn't it? Isn't it, bro? Oh my lord. I need some big extraction fans in here. Especially if we're moving to hydro. This video, we're turning this shelf into my new propagation area. The old one, while was really good and is being very helpful, is growing way too small because not only are you doing self-sufficiency on this property, I now want to move towards market gardening. Market. Yep. So, which means currently I have a lot of seedlings already going, and some of them are starting to get a little bit leggy because they're starting to battle all the way through since building this propagation station is quite, the light's not quite intense enough. So some are a little bit leggy. It also means I'm about to have a lot more seeds to sow soon. I think in total, I've already planned out the year and everything. About 5,000 plants over the next 6 months at least, which you might think is crazy for such a little area, 200 square meters, which is quite a small area. But I've been doing a lot of research. Not only have I studied horticulture, but I've also studied business management. I have a diploma in business management, so I've applied everything. I'm not being naive about this. I've got everything planned out so far. I'm still planning. It's a live document, the whole business plan. And I'm going to make this work. Watch this space. Which means it's going to be very intensive gardening, farming, whatever you want to call it. Very intensive to pump the vegetables out and do what we're trying to achieve, what I want to achieve, which is super cheap vegetables for everyone. I don't see why these vegetables at the moment need to be so expensive. The way things are going, it's just making it harder for everyone to live healthy. Everyone's turning to processed foods because it's cheap, and everyone's so unhealthy. I mean, you can go down that rabbit hole of all the conspiracies and everything, but we need to upgrade this. And in order to achieve it, we need to upgrade this because in order to achieve a plant that is marketable and also has a decent shelf life for your customer when they buy it off you, it doesn't just wilt and turn to shit once you sell it to them. It starts at the seed, it starts at the seedling, the light spectrums that you give it, the food that you feed it, and everything like that. Before it even goes out to the paddock or the field or the garden or whatever, it starts in here. And that's what we're going to do in this video. So in order to do what we need to do today, I need to move that shelf there, which means that fridge needs to move. That fridge used to actually be a blood storage fridge for a hospital. It's bought for free. It's a fridge. Fridge is a fridge is a fridge. Which means we need to move that freezer, chest freezer, to where the shelves are there. Because then that can then be moved and it'll free up all that space, because then I will be putting a bench and a washing bay and everything in there for washing vegetables later down the track. There'll be another video down the track. So we've got some moving to do. So in order to achieve what we need to achieve with the light spectrums and the different colors for each stage of the seedlings. Did I already explain that? I can't remember. I think I explained. Let's rewind. Okay, so freezer's moved. This moved into place. I've started redoing the shelves with the spacings because with the spacing to the canopy of the plant itself needs to be matched, and then in each tier will be a different spectrum of light for different stages of growth, and also not every seedling will move from one tier to the other by week. Some seedlings will start off at tier 2 or tier 3 depending on that type of plant because they need specific types of spectrums to help their growth and all that, and help encourage that vigor later on when they get transplanted out. So there's that. Now we've just run out of spaces, shelves. I need to make some more. I've got leftover pie, but that's a tomorrow mission because I'm running out of time. I've got to get ready for work now. Go do a 12-hour shift, come home, have a couple hours sleep, and then we'll cut these to shape, put the new shelves in, and then start hooking up the lights. I'll see you tomorrow. After I finished filming yesterday, I sort of thought about it. Over here with the fridge and the freezer, I ran an extension into the garage to turn them on. I realized that's not going to work once you put all these lights in. You don't want to keep running everything through extensions because the draw that it creates and the distance it has to travel through extensions, it's not good. So I set out to tee off or splice into the power supply to the garage and set up 2 double plug outlets just above the fridge and freezer. So now I can plug into those with the lights as well as the fridge and freezer, obviously. After setting the power outlets, I then ripped down some framing timber and cut some ply to size to create the shelves that we need for the 7 shelf setup that we're going to be doing. I cut it down to 6 within the shelving unit, and the 7th will be on top because the 7th shelf or the 7th part of it is for ambient light, and for the most part those plants are going outside during the day to harden off, so they don't really need light. During that process, I managed to almost cut my finger off in the day it was off, so that was fun. Next we need to set up the lights. I'm going to set up my existing lights I already have on the top shelf. So the very top shelf will be the full spectrum lights that I've got there at 9,000 Kelvin. They will be perfect for the seedlings to stop any sort of leakiness, so it'll create a more stumpy, solid stemmed seedling. The next one's going to be the 2 6,500 Kelvin lights that I've got, as well as LEDs, I think. I can't remember, I've got it written down. The next one will be the same, but those will definitely have blue LEDs. Blue spectrum helps vegetative growth. And then we'll be using those LED panel lights for the remainder of the shelves, and I'll be daisy chaining those all together to run them through just one plug instead of having 4 different plugs. So now, the whole reason of doing this, especially with these, is because what I've spent on all these lights total would equate to just 1 decent grow light. Granted, that grow light would be adjustable, but it'd only do 1 shelf, maybe 2, or like a bigger area. That's just not going to work. At the end of the day, plants don't care about the brand that of your light that you're using on them. All they care about is it the photosynthetic flux, or whatever you want to call it. Basically, the photons that they can utilize from the light to be able to grow, to photosynthesize what they need to produce the sugars they need and the other foods they need to grow. And any LED or light can do that, provided you either have the light close enough to the plant, or the light's bright enough that you don't have to have it that close to the plant, and you're covering the spectrums. I mean, just plain white light will work. It just your plants might grow a bit slow and leggy, but it still works.
Can we take his phone?
But if we can do this, and the goal of this with all the LEDs and everything is that once these go out to the garden, they've already got that head start with that really healthy growth, that when it comes to harvest and then on selling it to the customer, it will store longer and just be an all-round better vegetable for the customer. Vitamins and mineral wise, size and storability once they take it off you and go home with it. It all starts with this. They make a big difference. And the whole reason I'm doing this is because I want to do the market gardening thing. I don't want to just stay in the back garden and this be a hobby thing. No, this is just the start of a bigger picture. A big journey over the next 5 years. So hopefully everyone can come along. Hopefully you guys come along. Hopefully we can do this. And take on the big guy. Start challenging everyone to start selling stuff cheaper. It's ridiculous. Everyone's just so obsessed with money. I don't care about the money. I want to be able to supply families with enough vegetables that they can look after themselves. Obviously, eventually the money will come with it, and you do need to make enough to be able to supply, look after your own family and all that sort of stuff. But I'm not here to make the millions or anything, do anything like that. I want to do this and grow and get bigger and expand, standardize and replicate, and keep growing throughout the country. That's the plan. Will we do it? I don't know. You guys gonna come along? I hope so. But first, we need to mount this. Crouching on that concrete hurts my knees. I'm getting way too old. So first 3 or 4 attempts to suspend this thing did not work, so I'm going to try a different approach. going to get rid of the diffuser because diffusers actually dim down the lights anyway and take away the harshness of the LED. So if there's an office space, you know, you don't have glaring lights above you.
That's that. And the green and the on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, so I've got my helper with me. And he's going to grab the screws that we take out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Can I have it? Thanks.
Thanks.
This.
You need to put it in front of the lens, not the screen, buddy. And the circle thing. Yeah, like that.
Like that?
Yeah, like that.
Is that a line?
Yeah, you got one of those. Alright, no more. No more. No more, no more, no more, no more. Alright. Good boy. Works. Right, so that's drivers wired up. So when you parallel wiring two, it needs to be negative to negative, positive to positive from unit to unit to unit. Opposed to when you're doing a circuit, you know, it's positive to negative, negative to positive, and so on and so forth. Difference being is when something in a circuit breaks, the whole circuit dies. Something stops in this parallel, then only one unit will stop working. That's for the alter current. For the DC, we didn't have to do anything. We just needed to do like for like on each wire. Just need to extend it. So if we do this, and then we plug it in, hopefully it don't blow up.
Blow up.
It won't blow up. And now, we should have independent control of each unit. Yep. Now we're independent control of each unit, but they're all running through the one plug. We've minimized the amount of plugs we need to use. This will have to go on last. I'm going to have to make a shroud for the back side of this to protect the drivers from the sun that comes in through here in the afternoon because we don't want them heating up because they'll get warm enough themselves on their own. Next step, LED strips. So we can create our different spectrums on each shelf. So this is really awkward to do. What we're going to do is put these LED strips just along this edge here. And it's sort of angled down that way so the LED is facing inwards towards the plant. They do have that double-sided sticky tape on them, but they don't last that long from my experience. So I bought this as well. I'm going to glue them on properly as we go. Fingers crossed it stays.
To understand, just like the back of my hand, I can read you from the back.
LED's done. Wasn't as fidgety as I thought it was going to be. And once I got a rhythm going, we got it done pretty quick. Next is fender film. We're going to put the fender film on, light side in, white. Pretty sure I said it is white, help the efficiency of the lights being used up to 30% increase. Opposed to my old propagation here with the solar, that was more direct reflection, whereas this will bounce the white and the color everywhere throughout the whole tier, each tier, giving the plants all they need from every angle. So we'll do that next.
Is it only a dream?
And here we have it, our new propagation station. Bit of a step up from the last one. 6 inside tiers, 7-1 for the outside for hardening off. Still got a few bits and pieces to do to it to finalise a few bits of fans, all that sort of stuff. You need fans, airflow in there. It's going to need to be a bit of an exhaust going on because it's got its backside to the afternoon sun as well as the heat coming from the LEDs. So we need to mitigate that a little bit. And there we go. We should be able to start pumping some seedlings out for our new adventure over the next few years. Maybe even make a second one. See how we go. Other than that, we'll see you in the next one.